Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Ezekiel 43 to 48, Proverbs 25, and Psalm 32. Let's get started. Then he led me to the gate facing east, and behold, the glory of the God of Israel was coming from the east, and the sound of his coming was like the sound of many waters, and the earth shone with his glory. And the vision I saw was just like the vision that I had seen when he came to destroy the city, and just like the vision that I had seen by the Chebar Canal. And I fell on my face, and as the glory of the Lord entered the temple by the gate facing east, the Spirit lifted me up and brought me into the inner court. And behold, the glory of the Lord filled the temple. Whilst a man was standing beside me, and I heard one speaking to me out of the temple, and he said to me, Son of man, this is the place of my throne, and the place of the soles of my feet, where I dwell in the midst of the people of Israel. And the house of Israel shall no more defile my holy name, neither they nor their kings, by their whoring and by the dead bodies of their kings, at their high places. By setting their threshold by my threshold, and their doorpost beside my doorpost, with only a wall between me and them, they have defiled my holy name by their abominations, that they have consumed. So I have consumed them in my anger. Now as I put away their whoring, and the dead bodies of their kings far from me, and I will dwell in their midst. As for years, I will describe to the house of Israel the temple, that they may be ashamed of their iniquity, and we shall mention the plan. And if they are ashamed of all that they have done, make note to them the design of the temple, its arrangement, its exterior, and its entrances, that is, its whole design, and make known to them as well all of its statutes, and its whole design, and all its laws, and write it down in their sight, so that they may observe all the laws, all its laws, and all statutes, and carry them out. And this is the law of the temple. The whole territory on the top of the mountain, or around, shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the temple. These are the measurements of the altar by cubits. Its base shall be 1 cubit high and 1 cubit broad, with a rim of 1 span around its edge. And this shall be the height of the altar, from the base on the ground to the lower ledge, 2 cubits, with a breadth of 1 cubit, and from the small ledge to the larger ledge 4 cubits, and the breadth of 1 cubit, and the outer half 4 cubits, and from the outer half projecting upward 4 horns. The outer half shall be square, 10 cubits long by 12 broad. The ledge also shall be a square, 14 cubits long by 14 broad, with a rim around half a cubit broad, and its base 1 cubit all around. The steps of the altar shall face east. And he said, Son of man, thus says the Lord God, these are the ordinances for the altar. On the day when it is ready for offering burnt offerings upon it, and for throwing blood against it, you shall give it to the Levitical priest of the family of Zadok. If you draw near to me to minister to me, declares the Lord God, I will from the herder of a sin offering. And you shall take some of its blood and put it on the 4 horns of the altar, and on the 4 corners of the ledge, and upon the rim or rim. Thus you shall purify the altar, and make atonement for it. You shall also take the bull of the sin offering, and it shall be burned in the appointed place belonging to the temple, outside the sacred area. And on the 2nd day you shall offer a male goat without blemish for a sin offering, and the altar shall be purified, as it was purified with the bull. When you have finished purifying it, you shall offer a bull from the herd without blemish, and a ram from the flock without blemish. You shall present them before the Lord, and the priest shall sprinkle salt on them, and offer them up as a burnt offering to the Lord. For 7 days you shall provide daily a male goat for a sin offering, a bull from the herder and a ram from the flock, and without blemish. So shall be provided. 7 days shall they make atonement for the altar and cleanse it, and so consecrate it. And when they have completed these days, then from the 8th day onward, the priest shall offer on the altar your burnt offerings and your peace offerings, and I will accept you, declares the Lord God. Then he brought me back to the outer gate of the sanctuary, which faces east, and it was shut. And the Lord said to me, This gate shall remain shut, it shall not be opened, and no one shall enter by it, though the Lord, the God of Israel, has entered by it. Therefore it shall remain shut. Only the prince may sit in there to eat bread before the Lord. I shall enter by way of the vestibule of the gate, and shall go out by the same way. Then he brought me by way of the north gate to the front of the temple, and I looked, and behold, the glory of the Lord filled the temple of the Lord. And I fell on my face, and the Lord said to me, Son of man, mark well, see you with your eyes, and hear with your ears all that I shall tell you concerning all the statutes of the temple of the Lord, and all its laws. Then mark all the entrances of the temple, and all the exits from the sanctuary. And say to the rebellious house, to the house of Israel, Thus says the Lord, the house of Israel, and now for all your abominations, and admitting foreigners, and circumcised in heart and flesh, to be in my sanctuary, profaning my temple. When you offer to me my food, the fat and the blood, and you have broken my covenant, in addition to all your abominations, and you have not kept charge of my holy things. So you have set others to keep my charge for you in my sanctuary. Thus says the Lord, no foreigner, uncircumcised in heart and flesh, of all the foreigners who are among the people of Israel, shall enter my sanctuary. But the Levites who went far from me, going astray from me after their animals, when Israel went astray, shall bear their punishment. They shall be ministers in my sanctuary, having oversight the gates of the temple, and ministering in the temple. They shall slaughter the burnt offering and the sacrifice for the people, and they shall stand before the people to minister to them. Because they ministered to them before their elders, and became a stumbling block of iniquity to the house of Israel, therefore I have sworn concerning them, declares the Lord God, and they shall bear their punishment. They shall not come near to me, but shall serve me as priests, nor come near any of my holy things, and the things that are most holy, but they shall bear their shame in the abomination that they have committed. Yet I will appoint them to keep charge of the temple, to do all its service and all that is to be done in it. As the Levitical priests, the sons of Zadok, who kept the charge of my sanctuary, and when the people of Israel went astray from me, shall come near to me to administer to me, and they shall stand before me to offer me the fat and the blood, declares the Lord. They shall enter my sanctuary, and they shall approach my table to minister to me, and they shall keep my charge. When they enter the gates of the inner court, they shall wear linen garments, and they shall have nothing of wool on them, while they minister at the gates of the inner court, and within. They shall have linen turbans on their heads, and linen undergarments around their waists. They shall not bind themselves with anything that causes sweat. And when they go out into the inner court to the people, they shall put off the garments in which they have been ministering, and lay them in the holy chambers. And they shall put on other garments, lest they transmit holiness to the people with their garments. And they shall not shave their heads or let their locks grow long. They shall surely trim the hair of their heads. No priest shall drink wine when he enters the inner court. They shall not marry a widow or a divorcee, but only virgins of the offspring of the house of Israel, or a widow who is the widow of a priest. They shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the common, and show them how to distinguish between the unclean and the clean. In a district they shall act as judges, and they shall judge you according to my judgments. They shall keep my laws and my statutes when I appoint a feast, and they shall keep my Sabbaths holy. And they shall not defile themselves by going near to a dead person. However, father or mother, or son or daughter, or brother or a married sister, they may defile themselves. After he has become clean, they shall count 7 days for him. And on that day when he goes into the holy place, into the inner court, to minister in the holy place, and he shall offer his sin offering, declares the Lord God. It shall be their inheritance, and you shall give them their possession in Israel. I am their possession. They shall eat the grain offering, the sin offering, and the guilt offering, and every divided thing in Israel shall be theirs, and the first of all the first fruits of all kinds, and every offering of all kinds from all your offerings shall belong to the priest. You shall also give to the priest the first of your dough. Now a blessing may rest on your house. The priest shall not eat of anything, whether bird or beast, that is died by itself, or is torn by wild animals. When you allot the land as an inheritance, you shall set apart for you a portion of the land as a holy district, 25,000 cubits long, and 20,000 cubits broad. It shall be holy throughout its holiness. Of this, a square pole of 500 by 500 cubits shall be for the sanctuary, with 50 cubits for an open space around it. And this, from this measured district, you shall measure off a section 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 broad, in which shall be the sanctuary, the most holy place. It shall be the holy portion of the land. It shall be for the priests who minister in the sanctuary and approach the Lord to minister to. It shall be a place for their houses and a holy place of the sanctuary. Another section, 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 cubits broad, shall be for the Levites who minister at the temple. And as their possession proceeds to live alongside the portion set apart as the holy district, you shall assign for the property of the city an area 5,000 cubits broad and 25,000 cubits long. It shall belong to the whole house of Israel, and to the prince shall belong the land on both sides of the holy district and the property of the city, alongside this holy district and the property of the sea. On the west and in the east, corresponding in length to one of the travelable portions, and extending from the west to the eastern boundary of the land. It is to be his property in it, and my prince shall no more oppress my people. And they shall let the house of Israel have the land according to their tribes. Thus says the Lord, enough, O princes of Israel, put away violence and oppression, and execute justice and righteousness. Cease convictions of my people, declares the Lord. You shall have just balances, a just ephah, and a just bath. The ephah and the bath shall be of the same measure. And a bath containing 1/10 of a homer, and the ephah 1/10 of a homer. The homer shall be the standard measure. The shekel shall be 20 gerahs, 20 shekels plus 25 shekels plus 15 shekels shall be on you. This is the offering that you shall make. 1/6 of an ephah from each homer of wheat, and 1/6 of an ephah from each homer of barley. And as the fixed portion of oil measured in baths, 1/10 of a bath from each core, and 1 sheaf from every flock of 200. And the watering places of Israel for the grain offering, burnt offering, and peace offerings, to make atonement for them, declares the Lord. All the people of the land shall be obliged to give this offering to the prince in Israel. And it shall be the prince's duty to furnish the burnt offerings, the grain offerings, and drink offerings at the feast, the new moons, the Sabbaths, all the appointed feasts of those of the Hasidim. He shall provide the sin offerings, grain offerings, burnt offerings, and peace offerings, to make atonement for on behalf of the Hasidim. Thus says the Lord God. In the first month, on the first day of the month, you shall take a bull from the herd without blemish, and purify the sanctuary. And a priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering and put it on the doorpost of the temple, the four corners of the ledge of the altar, and post on the gate of inner court. He shall do the same on the 7th day of the month. But anyone who has sinned through error or ignorance, so you shall make atonement for the people. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, you shall celebrate the feast of the Passover, and for 7 days unleavened bread shall be eaten. On that day the prince shall provide for himself and all the people of the land a young bull for a sin offering. On the 7 days of the festival he shall provide as a burnt offering to the Lord 7 young bulls and 7 rams without blemish on each of the 7 days, and a male goat daily for a sin offering. And he shall provide as a grain offering an ephah for each bull, and an ephah for each ram, and a hin of oil to each ephah. In the 7th month, on the 15th day of the month, and for the 7 days of the feast, he shall make the same provision for the sin offerings, burnt offerings, and grain offerings, and for the oil. Thus says the Lord God. The gate of the inner court that faces east shall be shut on the 6 working days, and on the Sabbath day it shall be open, and on the day of the new moon it shall be open. And the prince shall enter by the vestibule of the gate from outside, and he shall stand by the post of the gate. And the priest shall offer his burnt offering and his peace offerings, and he shall worship at the threshold of the gate. And then he shall go out, but the gate shall not be shut until evening. And the people of the land shall bow down at the entrance of that gate before the Lord on the Sabbath and on the new moon. The burnt offering that the prince offers to the Lord on the Sabbath day shall be 6 lambs without blemish, and a ram without blemish. And the grain offering with the ram shall be an ephah, and the grain offering with the lamb shall be as much as he is able, together with a hin of oil to each ephah. On the day of the new moon he shall offer a bull from the herd without blemish, and 6 lambs and a ram, which shall be without blemish. As a grain offering he shall provide an ephah with a bull, and an ephah with the ram. And with the lambs he shall enter by the vestibule of the gate, and he shall go out by the same way. When the people of the land come before the Lord at the appointed feast, he enters by the north gate, worship shall go out by the south gate, and he enters by the south gate shall go out by the north gate. No one shall return by way of the gate by which he entered, but each shall go straight ahead. When they enter, the prince shall enter with them, and when they go out, he shall go out. At the feasts and the appointed feast festivals, and the grain offering with the young bull shall be an ephah, and with the ram an ephah, and with the lambs as much as one is able to give, together with a hin of oil to an ephah. When the prince provides a freewill offering, either a burnt offering or a peace offering, or peace offerings as a freewill offering to the Lord, the gate facing east shall be opened for him, and he shall offer his burnt offering or his peace offerings as he does on the Sabbath day. Then he shall go, and after he is done going out, the gate shall be shut. He shall provide a lamb a year old, without blemish, for a burnt offering to the Lord daily. Morning by morning he shall provide it, and he shall provide a grain offering with it morning by morning. 1/6 of an ephah, and 1/3 of a hin of oil to moisten the flour, as a grain offering to the Lord. This is a perpetual statute. Thus the lamb and the meal offering and the oil shall be provided morning by morning for a regular burnt offering. Thus says the Lord. If the prince makes a gift to any of his sons as in his inheritance, it shall belong to his son. It is their property by inheritance. And if he makes a gift out of his inheritance to one of his servants, it shall be his to a year of liberty, and it shall revert to the prince, showing it in his inheritance. It shall belong to his son. The prince shall not take any of the inheritance of the people, thrusting them out of their property. He shall give his son their inheritance out of his own property, so that none by evil shall be scattered from his property. Then he brought me through the entrance now, which was at the side of the gate, to the north right of the holy chambers for the priest. And behold, a place was there at the extreme western end of them. And he said to me, This is the place where the priest shall boil the guilt offering and the sin offering, and where they shall bake the grain offering, in order not to bring them out into the corner, into the outer court, and so transmit holiness to the people. And he brought me out to the outer court, and led me around to the four corners of the court. And behold, in each corner of the court there was another court. In the four corners of the court were small courts, 40 cubits long and 30 broad. The four were of the same size. On the inside, around each of the four courts was a row of masonry, with hearths made at the bottom of the rows all. Then he said to me, These are the kitchens where those who minister at the temple shall boil the sacrifices of the people. Then he brought me back to the door of the temple, and behold, water was issuing from the temple toward the east. Water was flowing down from below the south end of the threshold of the temple, south of the altar. Then he brought me out by way of the north gate, and led me around to the outside and to the outer gate that faces toward the east. And behold, the water was trickling out on the south side, going on east with a measuring line in his hand, and measured 1,000 cubits. And he led me through the water. It was ankle deep. And again he measured 1,000, and he led me through the water, and it was knee deep. Again he measured 1,000, and he led me through the water, and it was waist deep. Again he measured 1,000, and it was a river that I could not pass through, for the water had risen. It was deep enough to swim, a river that could not be passed through. And he said, Son of man, have you seen this? And he held me back to the bank of the river. As I went back, I saw on the bank of the river very many trees on the one side and on the other. And he said to me, This water flows toward the eastern region and goes down into the Arab and enters the sea. And the water flows into the sea, where the water will become fresh. And wherever the river goes, every living creature that swims will live. And there will be many, very many fish. For this water goes there, that the waters of the sea may become fresh. So everything will live where the river goes. Fishermen will stand beside the sea, from En-Gedi to En-Gilad. It will be a place for the spreading of nets. Its fish will not be of many kinds, like the fish of the great sea. But its swamps and marshes will not become fresh. They are to be left for salt. And on the banks on both sides of the river, they will grow all kinds of trees for food. Their leaves will not wither, nor their fruit fail, but they'll bear fresh fruit every month, because of the water that flows from the sanctuary. Their fruit will be for food, and their leaves will heal. Thus says the Lord, This is the boundary by which you shall divide the land for inheritance among the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph shall have 2 portions, and you shall divide equally what I swore to give to your fathers. This land shall fall to you as your inheritance. This shall be the boundary of the land on the north side from the great sea by the way of Hethlon to Lebo-Hamath, and on to Zedad, Beratha, Sebraim, as far as Hazer-Hatticon, which is on the border of Horan. So the boundary shall run from the sea to Hazer-Ain, which is on the northern border of Damascus, with the border of Hamath to the north. This shall be the north side. On the east side of the boundary shall run between Horan and Damascus, and along the Jordan between Gilead and the land of Israel, to the eastern sea and as far as Tamar. This shall be the east side. On the south side it shall run from Tamar as far as the waters of Meribah Kadesh. from there along the brook of Egypt to the Great Sea. There shall be the south side. From the west side, the Great Sea shall be the boundary to a point opposite Lebanon. There shall be the west side. So you shall divide this land among you according to the tribes of Israel. You shall allot it as an inheritance for yourselves and for the sojourners who reside among you and have had children among you. They shall be to you as native-born children of Israel. With you they shall be allotted an inheritance among the tribes of Israel. In whatever tribe the sojourner resides, there you shall assign him his inheritance, declares the Lord God. These are the names of the tribes, beginning at the northern extreme, beside the way of Hethlon to Lebo Hamath, as far as Hazar Ener, which is on the northern border of Damascus against Hamath, and extending on from the east side to the west, Dan, one portion, adjoining the territory of Dan from the east side to the west, Asher, one portion, adjoining the territory of Asher from the east side to the west, Naphtali, one portion, adjoining the territory of Naphtali from the east side to the west, Manasseh, one portion, adjoining the territory of Manasseh from the east side to the west, Ephraim, one portion, adjoining the territory of Ephraim from the east side to the west, Reuben, one portion, adjoining the territory of Reuben from the east side to the west, Judah, one portion, adjoining the territory of Judah from the east side to the west, shall be the portion which ye shall set apart, 25,000 cubits in breadth, and in length equal to one of the tribal portions, from the east side to the west, with the sanctuary in the midst of it. And the portion that you shall set apart for the Lord shall be 25,000 cubits in length, and 20,000 in breadth. These shall be the allotments for the holy portion. The priest shall have an allotment measuring 25,000 cubits on the northern side, 10,000 cubits in breadth on the western side, 10,000 in breadth on the eastern side, and 25,000 in length on the southern side. With the sanctuary of the Lord in the midst of it, they shall be for the consecrated priest, the sons of Zadok, who kept my charge, and who did not go astray when the people of Israel went astray, as the Levites did, and it shall be allotted to them as a special portion from the holy portion of the most holy place, adjoining the territory of the Levites, and alongside the territory of the priests. The Levites shall have an allotment 25,000 cubits in length and 10,000 in breadth. The whole length shall be 25,000 cubits, and the breadth 20,000. They shall not sell or exchange any of it. They shall not alienate this choice portion of the land, for it is holy to Allah. The remainder, 5,000 cubits in breadth and 25,000 in length, shall be for common use for the sea, for dwellings and for open country. And the midst of it shall be the sea, and these shall be its measures. The north side 4,500 cubits, the south side 4,500, the east side 4,500, and the west side 4,500. And the sea shall have open land. On the north 250 cubits, on the south 250, on the east 250, and on the west 250. The remainder of the length alongside the holy portion shall be 10,000 cubits to the east, and 10,000 to the west, and it shall be alongside the holy portion. Its produce shall be food for the workers of the sea, and the workers of the sea from all the tribes of Israel shall tilt it. The whole portion that ye shall set apart shall be 25,000 cubits square. That is the holy portion together with the property of the sea. For it remains on both sides of the holy portion, and the property of the sea shall belong to the prince. Extending from the 25,000 cubits of the holy portion to the east border, and westward from the 25,000 cubits to the west border, parallel to the tribal portion, it shall belong to the prince. The holy portion with the sanctuary of the temple shall be in its midst. It shall be separate from the property of the Levites and the property of the sea, which are in the midst of that which belongs to the prince. The portion of the prince shall lie between the territory of Judah and the territory of Benjamin. As for the rest of the tribe, from the east side to the west, Benjamin, one portion. Adjoining the territory of Benjamin from the east side to the west, Simeon, one portion. Adjoining the territory of Simeon from the east side to the west, Isaac, one portion. Adjoining the territory of Isaac from the east side to the west, Gad, one portion. And adjoining the territory of Gad to the south, the boundary shall run from Tamar to the waters of Meribah Kadesh, from there along the brook of Egypt to the Great Sea. This is the land that you shall allot as an inheritance among the tribes of Israel, and these are their portions, declares the Lord God. It shall be the gate exits of the sea. On the north side, which is 4,500 cubits by measure, 3 gates: the gate of Reuben, the gate of Judah, and the gate of Levi. The gates of the sea being named after the tribes of Israel. On the east side, which is to be 4,500 cubits, 3 gates: the gate of Joseph, the gate of Benjamin, and the gate of Dan. On the south side, which is to be 4,500 cubits by measure, 3 gates: the gate of Simeon, the gate of Isaac, and the gate of Zebulun. On the west side, which is to be 4,500 cubits, 3 gates. The gate of Gad, the gate of Asher, and the gate of Naphtali. The circumference of the city shall be 18,000 cubits. And the name of that city from that time shall be, The Lord is there. Proverbs 25. These are the Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied. It is the glory of the God to conceal things, and the glory of kings to search things out. As the heavens were high and the earth were depth, so the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from the sword, and the smith has material for a vessel. Take away the wicked from the presence of the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Do not put yourself forward in the king's presence, or stand in the place of the great. Very better to be top, come up here, than to be put lower in the presence of a neighbor. What your eyes have seen, do not hastily bring into court. What will you do in the end, when your neighbor puts you to shame? Argue your case with your neighbor himself, and do not reveal another secret, lest he who hears you bring shame upon you, and your ill repute have no end. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in the setting of silver, like a gold ring or an ornament of gold is a wise reprover to a listening ear, and like the cold of snow in the time of harvest is a faithful messenger to those who send. And he refreshes the soul of his masters. Like clouds of moon without rain, is the man who boasts of a gift he does not give. With patience the will make me persuade, and the soft tongue will break a bone. If you have found honey, eat only enough for you, lest you have your fill of hand and vomit, lest your foot be seldom in your neighbour's house, lest he have his fill of you and hate you. And when he bears false witness against his neighbour is like a warped club, or a sword, or a sharp arrow. Trusting in a treacherous man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a foot that slips. Whoever sings songs to a heavy heart is like one who takes off a garment on a cold day, and like vinegar on soap. If your enemy is hungry, give him food. Give him bread too, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink. But you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. The north wind brings forth rain, and the backbiting tongue, angry looks. It is better to live in a corner of the household than a house shared with the quarrelsome wife. Like cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. Like a muddy spring or a polluted fountain is a righteous man who gives way before the wicked. It is not good to eat much honey, nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory. A man without self-control is like a sea broken into and left without walls. Psalm 32. Blessed is the one whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man against whom the Lord counts no iniquity, and whose spirit there is no deceit. When he keeps silence, then my bones waste away. Through my glorying all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My strength was dried up as by the heat of summer. I acknowledged my sin to you, and I did not cover my iniquity. I said, I will confess my own transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the iniquity of my sin. And therefore let everyone who is godly offer prayer to you at a time when you may be found. Surely in a rush of great wrath they shall not reach you. You are a hiding place for me. You preserve me from trouble. You surround me with shouts of deliverance. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Be ye not like a horse or a mule, without understanding, which must be curbed with bit and bridle, or it will not stay with me. Many are the sorrows of the wicked. The steadfast love surrounds the one who trusts in the Lord. Be glad in the Lord, and rejoice in righteous, and shout for joy, all you upright in heart. Now thus done, I shall now do the Lord's prayer. Please bow your heads. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we also forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.